Hello and welcome to this Come to Jesus Daily Devotional. Today we continue in the Gospel of Luke, and in this section of Luke in chapter 8 we're seeing Jesus' power over dark forces, his power over sickness and death, and his power over creation. And the Lord wants to inspire us with his glory so as to deepen our faith so we can step out in faith. And today we see Jesus' power over demons. Today's lesson: demons know who Jesus is and submit to his greater power, so we are to pray against evil and be free from the fear of evil. Let's say that again. Demons know who Jesus is and submit to his greater power, and so we are to pray against evil and be free from the fear of evil. We read in Luke 8:26-27, they sailed to the region of the Gerasenes, which is across the lake from Galilee. When Jesus stepped ashore, he was met by a demon-possessed man from the town. For a long time, this man had not worn clothes or lived in a house, but had lived in tombs. Maybe you've heard the phrase, the calm after the storm. However, sometimes by God's will, we experience the storm after the storm. When we feel that we've had enough, Jesus knows if we can take and if we need more painful teaching. After passing through a literal storm, as we saw yesterday, the disciples enter upon a spiritual storm. If the storm was a lesson in faith in Jesus over the hardships brought about by creation and by nature, here we're entering upon a lesson regarding how we are to deal with the assaults and storms of dark demonic powers. Luke continues in Luke 8:28-29. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell at his feet, shouting at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, don't torture me." For Jesus had commanded the impure spirit to come out of the man. They meet this man who is controlled by demons, living in shame and isolation. And we see on many occasions that demons recognize and manifest, they reveal themselves when Jesus is present. The presence of Jesus causes them to reveal themselves. Demons recognize and reveal who Jesus is as they declare, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God?" And the account continues in Luke 8:29-31. Many times it had seized him, and though he was chained hand and foot and kept under guard, he had broken his chains and had been driven by the demon into solitary places. Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "Legion," he replied, because many demons had gone into him. And they begged Jesus repeatedly not to order them to go into the abyss. We see that serious demonic oppression can control speech, give supernatural strength, and isolate a person from society. We're told that they begged Jesus repeatedly not to order them to go into the abyss, this being the place of punishment that we read about in Revelation 9, verse 1. Whilst we may have many unanswerable questions around the meaning of all this, we know that it reveals Jesus' concern for the oppressed. It reveals his power to release from dark powers. It reveals his ability to overcome and punish demons. We will all have storms and afflictions caused by dark forces, and it's hard to know the source of things that we're suffering or that other people are suffering. However, some markers of the work of evil that we find in our narrative are things like this: isolating behaviours. As this man was driven into solitary places, demonic oppression and temptation will seek to isolate us and others from church and a healthy relationship with society. He wants to isolate us. Secondly, supernatural strength and anger. People who are afflicted or tempted by demonic powers will have outbursts of anger to a greater or lesser degree, and sometimes even with power, physical strength beyond the natural. Thirdly, the manifestation of the demonic at the presence of Jesus in a church setting, or when we are counselling or praying with someone. Demons can manifest themselves in the presence of Jesus, and at such times we are to tell them to go in the name of Jesus, because he has greater power than demons. So in response, demons know who Jesus is and submit to his greater power. So we are to pray against evil and be free from the fear of evil. If we're concerned for ourselves in regard to the oppressive work of the demonic in our lives, don't be fearful. Talk to a trusted church pastor to receive counsel and prayer. If you are concerned for someone else, if appropriate, ask if you can pray for them. And I encourage you to do this with someone else. Pray for them. This is not a simple subject, is it? But if we are loving, if we seek wisdom, if we involve others, if we ask for advice, bring people to Jesus and he can set people free. God bless you.